Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm the first presenter, and I'm going to present about the hydrangea serrata, extra attenuate UVB in gas photoaging, so an APK, AP1 in activation in human skin fibroblasts and hairless mice. This is the minor article. The title is Chemical Constituent from the Leaf of Hydrangea serrata of their Antiphotoaging Effect on UVB irradiated Human Fibroblasts. This is my outline. The first introduction. WHO has reported that there is the increasing the UV radiation in the worldwide. WHO have reported that there are 5 kinds of UV radiation level in the worldwide. The first one is less than 2,000 and 1,500 joule per meter square, and the last one for 5,000 and 500 joule per meter square. And WHO have reported that the most people in a population receive a 5 to 15%, with the average somewhat less than 10% of the total ambient UV radiation. UV can be classified into three types. The first one is UVC, UVB, and UVA. But the common exposure of UV is UVB and UVA. UVB exposure, the UVB causes the sunburn and superficial damage, and UVA causes the permanent damage. Furthermore, UVB exposure penetrates the deeper in the skin, especially from the UVA. But there are almost 95% of the radiation is UVB. UVB stimulates the production of new melanin, which leads to a heavy increase the dark color pigment, which is the fuse days. UVB also stimulates the inflammation. WHO have reported UV radiation given the effect of health effects. The first one is many factors causes the effect. The first one is distal factor, including the stratospheric ozone level, and the last is lower atmospheric pollution. And then the second factor is proximal factor, including that there are 4 factors. The first one is behavior, and the last one is HE5. But this factor causes the many diseases, especially one is skin aging. Skin has the 3 layers. The deepest layer is hypodermis, and the second is dermis, and the surface is epidermis. The function as the first line defense, protecting against the body microbial assault, and second is chemical assault, and the last is mechanical assault. Mechanical assault including the irritation, heat and cold shock, and UV radiation. Skin aging can be classified into 2 types. The first one is intrinsic. Intrinsic skin aging is natural process, and it's typically influenced by genetic factor. The characteristic of skin aging, essentially extrinsic skin aging, can only be seen in quiet old age, and is characterized by unbleached and smooth, dry, less elastic skin with few wrinkles. Furthermore, in extrinsic aging is mainly caused by hormone supplementation or repair exposure to the solar ultraviolet, especially the UVB. The characteristic of extrinsic photoaging is the thick epidermis, motor discoloration, deep wrinkles, loss elasticity, and slowing of skin cell growth. The common condition, the receptor FTKS was producing a normal amount of collagen and MTBS. Furthermore, the UVB exposure causes the producing the rust. Consequently, result the prolonged skin inflammation. Producing the rust inhibited the activation of RPTPS. and causes the elevating of ethical phosphorylation and triggering downstream of signaling pathway, including the activation of MAPK activation. Subsequent activation, the nuclear factor kappa B and AP1. The activation of nuclear factor kappa B causes the increasing MMP1. As we know, the increasing MMP1, MMPs contributing the ECM degradation, including the destruction of collagen, and finally increasing the wrinkled skin. Furthermore, the activation of the AP1 causes the downregulated the TGF beta receptor and overexpressing of producing of collagen. As we know that UV radiation, UV exposure on cell surface inhibited the RTPS activation and causes the AP kinase activation. As we know, the ECM degradation contributing the collagen degradation elastic decrease rate of synthesis of collagen. In other hand, the degradation of ECM inhibited the loss of HA. Skin aging is caused by imbalance in equilibrium between the accumulation and degree of ECM component. Cumulative exposure to the sun results in continuous degradation of ECM protein such as HA, collagen, and elastin. Furthermore, progressive the reduction of size of the HA polymer in the skin as a result of aging as a loss principle molecule responsible for binding and retaining water molecule, resulting in lost skin moisture. Several studies have indicated that dietary ingredient supplementation may improve or delay skin aging. For example, vitamin D, its metabolites have been found improve the skin survival after UVB irradiation. Furthermore, prevention of skin aging from the UVB irradiation refer to measures that can be taken to protect the skin from the UV limits, and it's achieved by sun cream, sun protective clothing, and sun avoid. Various chemical or medicine purpose the ameliorates the skin aging have disadvantages, including high price and chemical instability. So, therefore, there has been growing interest in development safety and active from the material, especially from the botanical source such as Hydrangea serrata. In Far East Asia, like the China, Japan, and Korea, have been consumed as the tea. Furthermore, the several studies indicated that Hydrangea serrata leaf content to inhibit the anti-diabetic, hepatoprotective, renal protective, and especially anti-inflammatory. Recent physical chemical studies have indicated there are five compounds from the Hydrangea serrata, but only 6 compounds from the Hydrangea serrata can give the effect from the skin aging. Among these compounds, it has potential protective effect on cell viability, production of pro-collagen type 1, MMP1, pro-inflammatory cytokines, and HM, were evaluated in human fibroblasts. In recent objective, including to investigate the anti-photoaging effect on hot water extract from the leaf of Hydrangea serrata, or WHS, in UVB irradiated human fibroblasts and HR hairless mice. Including the in vitro test, the WHS treatment inhibited the cellular oxidative stress in human fibroblast cells. Furthermore, in vivo test, WHS was inhibited causes the UVB irradiation. Second is material and method. first one, preparation of WHS. The dry leaf of Hydrangea serrata contained 1,000 grams was distilled water at 98 degrees C for 5 hours by filtration and then spray drying. And then give the residue WHS around 261 grams and 26.1 grams, 0.1%. In vitro test model, human fibroblasts were placed overplayed 1x10⁵ per milli culture area, and then incubation at 24 hours. After 24 hours, the cell was washing with PBS one time and UV irradiation using the 5 microjoule per centimeter square. After UV radiation, add the fresh medium and then treat the WHS and then analyze following this analysis. In vivo test model, 5-week-old mice and milk mice before they divide this group 1 week was do the 1 week activation and divide the 5 group. After they divide the 5 group, including the without UVB and then WHS treatment contained 100 microgram, and then the UVB irradiation was applied in the back mice during the three times a week for 1 week for 10 weeks. The energy of UVB was progressively increased from the 60 microjoule per centimeter square for at the 4 week, and then increasing until the 240 microjoule per centimeter square at final irradiation. After treatment and UV radiation, this back mice skin was analyzed, including the evaluation of skin wrinkle formation, histological analysis, physiological analysis. The third result and discussion. UVB exposure reduces the cell viability by 80% compared to control. However, WHS treatment reduce cell proliferation and increase the cell viability until 90%. In Roche production, UVB exposure causes increasing the Roche production. Increasing the Roche production indicated that skin damage. However, WHS treatment diminished this effect. In UVB exposure have increasing the elastic activity, suggesting that WHS diminished this effect and decrease the elastin degradation. In procollagen type 1, UVB exposure in triggering the downstream of procollagen type 1 production. But WHS treatment have the increasing procollagen type 1 production. In MMPs, as we know, the MMP is measure of collagen degradation, and the result of the collagen degradation is photodimmed skin. But the increasing MPPS, but WHS was diminished this effect. As we know that UV irradiation has also has the potential induce a pro-inflammatory cytokines to contribute the level of skin inflammation. But WHS diminishes this effect and decrease the level of inflammation. As we know that UV radiation causes the activation of AP1 and the overproduction of the phosphorylation and expression of the AP1, as well as the phosphorylation of expression AP1 contributing the activation SpAT1. Furthermore, the UV radiation stimulates overall the MAPK signaling pathway, including the phosphorylation expression of MAPK family. That's indicated that AP1 binding site is the regulatory site of MAPJ and decrease the phosphorylation, but not in phosphorylation ERK, because ERK is involved in transmitting signal activated by growth factor and generate cell growth survival and differentiation. In vivo test, as we know that after UVB exposure, the wrinkle is increased and indicated that deep wrinkle. However, WHS treatment reduce the wrinkle formation in magma skin. In the total wrinkle and the vein line and max wrinkle mean indicated that WHS diminish this effect. WHS has proven effective the treatment of photo-age skin and approved for the clinical use. In wrinkle formation, UVB exposure has indicated that increasing the wrinkle formation, but the WHS diminished this effect, including the dorsal thickness. In the collagen synthesis, the UVB exposure reduced the spatial density, but the WHS diminished this effect and increasing the spatial density. In HA or water loss in the magma skin, UVB exposure have decreased the HA and epidermal water and increasing the TEWL. But WH has diminished this effect and increasing the HA and epidermal water content and decrease the TEWL. In coordinates of vitro data, in vivo was evaluated including MMP. MMP is a measure of characteristic the skin aging. After UVB exposure, that they are increasing of MPP1 and including the mRNA, interleukin 1 beta and interleukin 6. In AP1 and MPK is same with coordinates data. The WHS diminished the phosphorylation expression of AP1 and MAPK. Conclusion. Based on the HPLC analysis, the researcher get the 10 compound from the hydrogenase leaf, but the best compound from the inhibit the skin aging is hydrogenol, including the self-fiability, procollagen type 1, MMP1, and HA. The proportion of hydrogenol in WHS recorded as the 0.623 plus minus 0.05%. As we know, HA is the key role of ECM degradation. Loss of HA indicating that skin inflammation. In this case, UVB exposure consequently result a decrease of HAS2 and increasing the HAL1 and 2. But WHS diminished this effect. Hydrogenol in WHS might increase HA production by suppressing the degradation of HA in UVB irradiated human fibroblasts. In vitro data indicated that WHS treatment increasing the collagen and inhibiting MMP1 via the MAPK and via AP1. In vivo, in FIFO indicated that WHS treatment decreased the skin wrinkle, TWER and skin hydration, and increased the pro-collagen and itch. Thank you very much.
谢谢安国的报告。那有同学针对安国的报告有什么问题吗？那老师
I have a question about the figure 1.
Figure 1. Figure 1.
It's 2. Figure 1.
This is the figure 1.
This one is figure 2. You should have figure 1. How should be this one? Should be this one. Yes. Oh, 他改了。OK， 按照他排序的。
They also use the fiberglass
Yeah.
as model system
Yes.
to train with UVB and or and power extra. Yeah. We can see the cell variability using the control as 100%. And in the figure 1, they compare the RS production. What is the 100%?
This one.
Here.
Oh.
Here have 100% using the control to measure the cell variability. And here to compare the RS production using the percentage. What is the 100%?
The ROS product. Cell fiability indicated that cell proliferation. If the decrease the cell fiability indicated that increasing the cell proliferation. But in ROS production, increasing the ROS production indicated that skin inflammation and activation the MMEK and MP1. But when after the UVB exposure, the ROS production that significantly increased. That indicated that there is the damaged skin in human fibroblasts.
The question Dr. Chen asked is about the RS generation. You see this one, the B, the control only 50%.
70%.
Yeah, no control, the first control without exposure. You see the A, the control is 100%. Yeah, but the B control is only 50%. So what is 100%? When we do this experiment, we always have negative control and positive control. So we compare with positive control, we can get 100%. So, but here is no 100%. Yeah. You see, when we run the experiment, we always have control. So the control is the baseline. So baseline here, how could you say it's 50%? You must have a 100% baseline. So that you can say it's 50%. Do you understand? Yeah. So but here, what is a 100% baseline? Also 點樣都到。Yeah， 说按国对于的话，这你要问的，没有100，没有100%，你一定要个 baseline，你 must have a baseline。
50%. The rust production only 50%. The normal condition is 50%. But after the UV irradiation, the increasing of the rust production
Yes.
only 70%.
Yeah, 70%.
It doesn't until the 100%.
Yeah, let's just see, you can see the material